Hey guys, welcome back, it's Ripe again. In today's video, my narcissistic, entitled mother made my life hell from day one. As soon as I turned 18, I was alone and went no contact with her. However, when she gets ill because she is a raging alcoholic, she demands I give her my liver for a transplant and tries to guilt me into helping her. Let's dive right into the story. The title story goes like this. Saying that I have a rocky relationship with my mother would be both an understatement and also overly simplified. She has been an entitled narcissist my entire life, and I cannot think of a single good memory I have of her. Not even just regarding me, but seeing how she acts with other people as well. Growing up with her was 18 years of psychological abuse. I don't want to go into too many details, but from a young age everything was my fault, and trying to talk to her about it resulted in gaslighting me to the point that even I hated myself. Once I was a teenager and broke out of those thoughts, I knew that at 18 I was gonna leave and never come back. I did exactly that, and I tried to be around her as little as possible. Then one day out of the blue I got a message from her over text. My mom said, "I just spoke to the doctors and they said I need a new liver." Me, "I'm sorry to hear that." My mom, "And I found some old medical records and you're probably a match for me. What day is good for you to come in?" Me, "What?" My mom, "The doctors need to test you to be sure before they do the surgery." Me, "I'm not giving you my liver." My mom, "They don't take the whole thing, just a piece of it and it will grow back eventually. Don't be so selfish. I took care of you for 18 years and all I get in return is you leaving and barely talking to me. You have to give me some of your liver because you owe it to me." Me, "I don't owe you anything. If you think that you took care of me instead of abusing me, it makes me wonder how drunk you really were all those years." My mom, "Here we go again with your stories." I stopped messaging her back because I knew that it was bad for me to keep going. I could not say that I was surprised at my mom needing a liver transplant. She drank heavily and sooner or later that was gonna catch up and make her sick. There was no way I was gonna have a surgery and give the woman who ruined my childhood half of my liver. The fact that she also just texted it and decided that it was a done deal without even asking me if I was okay with it, clearly nothing had changed with her from me leaving 2 years ago. She was clearly not gonna look at her life and realize the mistakes, so I started thinking it might be a better idea to drop contact with my mom altogether. The only person in the family I still really wanted to talk to was my older brother, who also left when he was 18 but had a much better relationship with our mom. The text and calls kept coming in the next few days and ranged wildly in emotion. One day she would be talking about how much she loved me and wanting to live longer so that we could spend holidays together and she could see me have kids one day. The next one, it was her yelling at me for being selfish and saying that I had an obligation to give her my liver just because I was her child. I had looked into the surgery information on my own out of curiosity, and the more I looked, the more I was sure I didn't want to do it. Any type of surgery was dangerous, and living with half a liver meant that I had to be careful about some things. I don't drink at all, but seeing things like possible infection and needing to stay home from work to rest. If it was somebody like my brother that needed it, I might have considered actually doing it, but not for my narcissistic mother. So I had blocked her number and was getting updates on the situation from my brother as it unfolded. He took her to the doctor and she kept saying that I was gonna donate my liver and just was trying to find the right day to come in. My brother said right in front of the doctor that I had no plans to donate and my mother should look elsewhere. Despite blocking her number, I kept getting calls and texts and I would just try my best to ignore them. She knew where I lived but was not in shape to really drive over and talk to me in person, which I was thankful for. So instead, I started getting things in the mail about liver disease and how family donating a piece can help save so many lives. She was really trying to mess with my mind and guilt me into doing this thing. I was standing my ground about this though, and then I heard nothing for a week, and a few days later my brother called me. Brother, "Hey." Me, "What's up?" "I haven't heard an update in a while." Brother, "Mom ended up convincing my aunt to donate some of her liver for the transplant." Me, "So she had the surgery?" Brother, "Yeah, but I want to warn you now that I don't think she plans on leaving you alone about it even after the fact." Me, "I am shocked they even let her have one. She's just gonna drink again and ruin it before it can fully grow." Brother, "Probably. Anyway, after the surgery she woke up and started saying how you were gonna take care of everything because you were selfish. She told aunt that you were gonna give her money while she could couldn't work and pay for the medical bills and all that stuff. Me, there's no way I'm giving anybody money towards this thing. Honestly, I don't want to have any contact with her, and if she keeps finding ways to harass me, I'm gonna file for a restraining order. You might want to tell her that, and if she comes to my house, I can and will call the police on her. Brother, I just wanted to warn you. I was glad to get the warning because it did not take long for her to start messaging me about all of these things that he talked about. Since she was using fake numbers anyway, I decided to just start responding with generic things that might come from a robot answer. Like, the number you have texted is not valid and message could not be sent, try again later. When a call would come in, I would just send her right to voicemail and made the decision that I should have made from the start and deleted them without listening. The last thing I wanted in my new start at life was her trying to abuse and use me again. Then the day came when she showed up to my house and I called the police on her. She argued with the cops, saying that since she was my mother, she had the right to invade my space. She even said that I should be arrested because I refused to give her a part of my liver to save her life. That she was gonna die and I should be arrested for attempted murder. The police luckily could see that she was crazy and smelled the alcohol on her breath and got her off my property. I got a restraining order, and so far she hasn't been dumb enough to try and break it. It hurt to have things come to that, but it was the best thing for my mental health. And yeah, Ripe Stars, let me know what you think about this story. Do you think that OP should have given part of his liver at least to his mother? Or do you think that OP did the right thing? Let me know in the comments, and while you're at it, please don't forget to like the video and put some star emojis in the comments to show me your support. Thank you so much in advance, it's very much appreciated. The next one is titled, "My wife got pregnant but I am sterile." I, 27 male, found this out about my wife, 26 female, after seeing her messages pop up while setting up her new phone. Gotta love Apple backups. So I suffered a terrible skateboarding accident at 15 that unfortunately left me 100% sterile. Like, the parts responsible for baby Beta got removed and replaced with prosthetics, so there's no chance this is my kid. I called her best friend and asked what was going on, and she acted so happy to learn that we were having a kid, but after I explained to her that I'm not capable of having children, she got super quiet and then hung up and immediately texted my wife about it. I just left the messages up on her laptop and phone, packed a bag, and now I am at a friend's house getting drunk. I honestly don't know what to do. Any advice? ETA, I'm on the spectrum, so dealing with emotions is not a strong suit of mine. I just want to ghost her with divorce papers, but I keep thinking that this would be too harsh, but after everything I've done for her, this is how she treats me. I seriously need help. Comment number 1, if you stay married, you will be listed as the father on the birth certificate. You will need to go to court to get the paternity removed from the birth certificate. It's your choice to stay, but make sure you don't become responsible for a kid that is not yours. Comment number 2, well, look at all the possibilities. You are sterile, she's been faithful, you had a miracle child. Number 2, you are sterile, she cheated and got pregnant by another man. Number 3, you are sterile, the child is in fact yours and it's a miracle, and she still cheated. Only situation number 1 is the one you can stay in, the rest you have to go your separate ways, but potentially with additional responsibilities. Update to the story. First, I will clarify a few things from the last post. So I suffered a skateboarding accident at 17 that caused severe damage to my bits and the tubes that run to them, and they had to be removed and replaced with prosthetics, rendering me 100% sterile. This was double checked 3 years after the accident, and I was still 100% sterile, so there's no way the child is mine. I was in the process of transferring her data from her old iPhone to her new one, and I saw a photo of a positive pregnancy test in her iCloud. I'm not proud, but I did a little snooping and found her conversation with her BFF talking about it, and okay, here's the update. After a long and difficult talk with her and her dad, we decided that we are gonna separate and file the papers with the county we currently reside in. We'll have to be separated for a year before we can legally divorce, and we'll be doing the paternity test when the baby is born. In the meantime, we broke the lease, which she paid for, and we will have until January 20th to clean out the apartment, and after that, we will go our separate ways for now. My lawyer and I decided it would be best for her to stay on my insurance until after the birth of the baby, but I will not be going to appointments, nor will I be there when the child is born. As far as I'm concerned, we are done, and there is no chance of reconciliation because cheating is an unforgivable sin in my book. She fundamentally ruined my trust in her, and if we stay together, I would constantly be wondering if she will do the same thing again, and I don't want or need that in my life. If you're unhappy and you're not capable of having a discussion with your partner about your feelings to try and come to a resolution that not only benefits you but also your relationship, you are an emotionally immature person and we are not compatible together. And yeah, ripe stars, I would say props to OP, that was a very wise decision and a very mature one, but please let me know what you would have done in this situation. Would you have forgiven the cheating wife? Or would you have done the same as OP? Let me know in the comments. The next one is titled, Husband hired my friend to strip at his bachelor party. 4 years ago, I got married to my husband after dating for 6 years, so 10 years in total. My friend Rebecca has stripped since she was 21, she stopped last year after getting married and is gonna be a stay-at-home mom when her baby is born. Since our children, we are very close and we are basically neighbors, she lives at the bottom of the road we live on, and last week one of my husband's friends visited at the same time as Rebecca, as I had made plans to shop with her. I forgot to cancel and then she showed up. After she left, my husband's friend commented that he cannot believe we are still friends after the bachelor party. When I asked my husband what his friend meant, he refused to comment, and we got into a huge fight over it when he told me Rebecca had been the stripper at his bachelor party. I texted Rebecca in the moment that I don't want her around anymore, but she has not responded in a week. I feel betrayed by the both of them, but I know it was just her job. To be honest, I miss Rebecca a lot, but I am so hurt I don't know what to do. Update, I confronted them both separately, and they both gave 2 very different stories. Rebecca says that my husband got drunk, groped her, and when she refused, he pushed her and started to yell at her. Apparently, my husband and his friends believe I should not be friends with her because she led them on. My husband says that they didn't sleep together, but Rebecca tried to initiate and performed oral while he was blackout drunk. I'm staying with my parents because I don't know who to believe here, or if I should even believe either of them. All I've done is argue with my husband since the confession. I'm left more confused than ever, and honestly, I just want to say F the both of them, but if my husband's story is true, then he is totally innocent, but what if Rebecca is telling the truth? But what if neither of them are? I am sick of them both. I haven't stopped crying since arriving at my mother's, to be honest, and I don't think I can. Why would he hide this for 4 years? Why would she? If they both believe they are fully innocent and the victims here, my husband is a mean drunk, but he's always so soft-spoken, and I don't know if he can do those things Rebecca claimed, but I don't know how he reacts around his friends, but I've known him longer than Rebecca too. Finally though, I'm all for believing women. I feel like by agreeing with my husband, I'm denying Rebecca's story/side. Update number 2. I realize I don't care anymore. I've done nothing but think about my husband throughout our marriage. My entire life has revolved around him, all my thoughts revolved around him, and I finally realized I'm the only one that has been keeping this marriage going. I've been relying on him and forgiving him for such a lot of BS because I don't have anyone else. I gave him everything and that's not happening anymore. Maybe finding out about Rebecca just sped things up. Maybe I relied too heavily on my husband. I told him this morning that it is over. He has yet to stop texting me begging for a chance. I texted Rebecca and told her I no longer want her in my life either. Both have confessed to sleeping together and continuing to do so. My husband out of anger to insult me, and maybe Rebecca wanted a last F you. Rebecca's baby is my husband's, so to say F you back, I messaged her partner to let him know. I am devastated obviously, but now we have to make plans about what's happening with the house and custody, and I cannot afford to continue crying about it. Rebecca's partner let me know at 6 p.m. that she has moved. He helped her move all of her stuff into my husband's house. It all happened so fast and I cannot believe I was so oblivious to it. Maybe I wanted to be. Once again, thanks for all the comments and messages, it really made me open my eyes. It all happened so fast that I don't have time to process it at all. Looks like they wanted me to find out before she gave birth. A nice happy family now. And yeah, ripe stars, unfortunately that is how the story ends. That is just how relationship advice on Reddit is. It's not like the revenge stories that we usually read where there's like a happy ending and the bad guy gets what he deserves, or she deserves in this case. So that's why I'm curious, please let me know in the comments if you enjoy these relationship stories as well. I am very curious about your feedback. Entitled Karen neighbor insisted I remove my gate and fence so she can park in my driveway and swim in my pool. So, I'm not originally from the USA. I was born and raised in a foreign country. I had the opportunity to study abroad in college, and that is where I met my husband, fell in love and moved to the USA. I am mentioning this because there are a lot of cultural differences and societal differences between my home country and the USA. One of them being the houses. Where I am from, most of the houses and neighborhoods are gated. And I just mean a simple gate or fence. What I mean by that is, each house will have their own security gate and fence that goes all the way around their house. And we don't park our cars in the street, but instead in our driveway, which are also inside the security gate. On top of this, most neighborhoods are gated. That means there is a big hefty gate with an attendant or passcode. About half of these neighborhoods have security guards that stand outside these gates. It was very safe and secure no matter what kind of neighborhood you were in. Your house is always protected. When my husband visited with me the first time, he was surprised that more houses and neighborhoods in America are not like this. And by the way, Ripe Stars, just to quickly chime in, have you ever lived in a neighborhood like this? In Thailand, these kinds of neighborhoods are really common, so I'm curious if they are also common where you are from. Let us know in the comments. So, when we got married, we decided that we wanted a house with a gate that is similar, and if we could not find one, we would add one. Well, that is exactly what we did. We found a beautiful home with a huge backyard. We found the right people to install an automatic gate. When we moved in and did this, the next door neighbors were on vacation, so we did not have the chance to meet them right away. Everyone else had been lovely to us, so we were excited about finding such a friendly and inviting neighborhood. Flash forward about a week or so and the next door neighbors have returned from their vacation. I'm pretty outgoing myself, so I was excited when they saw us coming home one Sunday and decided to introduce themselves. It was a nice Sunday afternoon, so I decided to invite them out onto our patio for some iced tea so we could formally introduce and get to know each other. We were going to be next door neighbors. It was going wonderful at first. They were polite and seemed genuinely interested in talking to and getting to know my husband and me. However, that quickly changed when they mentioned the automatic gate. The wife suddenly popped and asked, "What's up with the changes you have made to the house? Why do you have scary looking gates now?" I would like to add that I personally don't think it's a scary looking gate. It was a nice white automatic gate. An upgrade to the white picket fence dream, if you will. Also, we're a corner house, so only one side, the side that is up against their house, is taller than the other, but not by much. I explained to them that where I am from, we enjoy our privacy and security. Not that we moved into a bad neighborhood, but it was just nice to be able to feel secure and have the actual privacy you deserved in your own home, you know? I noticed her tone had changed a little bit, and I even added that we had land surveyors out and everything when we had the gate installed and nothing is overlapping property lines or on their property. I did want to make sure we did everything right, as this was the first home my husband and I were buying together. And after stating that, they both seemed really pissed off. The husband even said that we were going to ruin the neighborhood because this was supposed to be a neighborhood where all the kids could play outside and ride their bikes throughout everyone's front yards and backyards. My husband politely apologized and stated that we just wanted to enjoy the house and we would not be okay with the neighborhood kids playing in our yards even if we did not have the gate. By now, they were absolutely heated. The wife had gotten up from her seat and I thought that she was going to escort herself off of our property. She started saying how the gate also blocked our driveway and she had an agreement with the previous owners that she could park her car there when there was no parking on the street. They did not have a driveway, by the way. The husband was also nice enough to add that sometimes they were allowed to swim in the pool. We had a huge pool in our backyard and we had decided to add a jacuzzi. She then basically implied that she was going to file a report with the city because she was sure we were breaking some laws. At this point we knew there was no trying to turn around the conversation, so we asked them to leave. We decided that we were going to take action before they had the opportunity to file a report. Not that they would find anything illegal anyway, but I wanted to get my point across. It was petty of me, but the next day my husband and I went out to the animal shelter to adopt a huge German Shepherd. We had talked about getting a dog a little after we were actually settled into our new home, but well, this seemed like the perfect opportunity. We even got a beware of dog sign and hung it in front of the gate. We also got some plants and hung them from the edge of the roof on the taller side of the gate, so that any small area in between this space they could see was now blocked. And finally, I had gone down to the city center and asked them to not just review the plans for the gate and make sure that they were okay, but to put it in writing that all of the plans and installation of the gate was legal and that we were not breaking any laws because everything was within accordance. The next day I stuck the letter in the neighbor's mailbox. They have not talked to us since. But that means they are also not bothering us. I guess that's a win-win. And with this, we have reached the end of the video. However, if you cannot get enough of my content, then please don't forget to check out my endless playlist, which has thousands of videos and hours of content. In addition, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell to not miss any of my daily uploads. Thank you so much, and I will see you again tomorrow.